Hi guys, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Model Bench, and here we are now. It's a Monday night. It's, what is it, nearly 10:30. I've been watching Moss's live stream tonight. I was actually invited to go on there and turned him down because I was supposed to be going out, but then a friend of mine can't go out for some reason or other, so I decided to just stay home with Jess. So I thought I'd do like a sort of a bit of a mid-month roundup because I've got a few little things to tell you and I've had a few messages and emails. So I just want to sort of clear a few things up and go from there, really. I hope you're all enjoying the Sea King build. It is a beauty of a kit. I have today finished filming part 8. I think you've seen part 6 went out today, but here it is as it sits now. As you can see, it's all looking like a proper Sea King now, looking really, really good. Next thing now is going to be the clear parts, and I think I'm going to make one of my beginners videos. Somebody's asked me, how do you can you do a video on how to mask clear parts? So because there is no mask set for this, because none of the kits have been given to the aftermarket people, then there are no masking sets for this, so we'll have to make our own masks for now. So there we go. But yeah, it's coming on. It's a lovely kit. I had a few issues with the sponsons, and you'll see in part 8 that I had a few issues, but some of it probably my fault. Maybe some quality issues with the actual particular sprue, I don't know. It just seems very, very strange. The rest of the kit is like Lego, and they were a little bit of a problem. I don't know, probably more me than anything else. But as you can see, it's a proper beautiful looking Sea King. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much to Airfix for sending it to me. Right, border model. Had an email for border model on the weekend. They told me all about their new Lancaster that's coming out, the Dam Buster Lancaster, and obviously they've put it out there because a few people have emailed and said, did you know this is happening, blah 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 blah, and asking a couple of questions about it. Right, so border model are releasing a Lancaster in Dam Buster, the Type 464 provisioning, which is great news because that's going to be absolutely beautiful. Just hope they get it right. Now, as we know, Wingnut Wings did the tooling for the kit originally, and I believe the first release of that kit was going to be the Wingnut Wings. There are also Dam Buster parts on the B1, that kit there, the B1, B3. There are actual Dam Buster parts on those sprues. So we know that that kit was going to be a Dam Buster. So I expect what's happened is border model have just used the tooling they had. So it's going to be pretty much the same kit with a different fairing over the bomb bay. You're obviously going to have the upkeep bomb. Is it upkeep? I'm sure it's called upkeep. And you're going to have all the framework and everything. And then you've got a few little different bits and pieces. There's an extra gauge that goes on the top of the instrument panel. You've got the extra lever down in front of the pilot's seat, or it's just in front to the right of the pilot's seat. And then you've got the lights that are facing down. I don't know if they're going to include the little, if there's a, you know, what the bomb aimer held to get the distance of the two towers on the dams, but we shall see. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. They've remade the clear sprue. They've completely retooled and made some new clear parts, they told me, and they are going to add them to the kit. So you're still going to get the old clear sprue, but you're going to get the new clear sprue as well, so you can use whatever you want. It looks like they haven't redone everything. Like, they don't need to retool the side windows, do they? And in my opinion, a lot of the clear parts were absolutely fine. Some were terrible. On my my nose art kit there that Wendy kindly bought me, my original canopy in that had a bloody hole in it, but the replacement that's been sent is perfect. It's lovely. So, and I've been sent replacements for my other kit as well, so it's all lovely, and they're all very, very nice. And as they say, the spidering that you get, the spider webbing that you get in the plastic, it's where they have more than one sprue connector. The plastic comes in, it meets, and it forms a line in the plastic. It wouldn't matter if it was grey plastic or something, but because it's clear, it shows. And if you notice, all modern kits these days, they have one sprue entry point, and maybe one exit. So they might have one, if you've got a, I don't know what this if this is the part here that's going to be clear, they might have one sprue entry here, and then they might have 3 or 4 little tabs coming off there for the plastic to flow through, so you get a perfectly clear part. The only trouble with that is, of course, if the sprue is in the box and it's getting knocked about and everything, quite often they break off because they've only got one sprue attachment point, and then you end up with a great big white chunk in your parts. So you can't win. Clear parts are a nightmare all round. A nightmare for the manufacturers, a nightmare for the modelers. It's a shame. We should all go back to World War I stuff because they didn't have clear parts, did they, generally? But yeah, and they also, unusually, I don't know why, they're putting a later turret in it, a later rear turret, which would really be more applicable in that kit, because the later rear turret wasn't used in the 464 provisioning. So I don't know what's going on there. So if you want to build a late B1, B3, you can, but of course you don't have the non-hold window frames. And I'm also going to be interested to see what they've done, because the dam busters didn't have the turret on the door, on the top, the dorsal turret on the top. But if you remember, the sides of the fuselage have part of the turret fairing moulded into them, so it'll be interesting to see what they've done there. So it'd be very interesting to see that kit. Looking forward to it. They have said they're going to send me a review sample, but they said they were going to send me an FW190 and they never did, so we shall see. And also, some of you may not be aware, they're actually currently working on a Spitfire. They've done a 1/35th scale Spitfire, which looks lovely. It doesn't have raised rivets, it has recessed rivets, unfortunately. But a 1/35th scale Spitfire, can you imagine the diorama implications with that? You know, you could have a Tilly, you know, the AFV club, the Matador truck. You know, you can have all this stuff parked around the Spitfire and all your 35th scale figures. They look absolutely bloody great. So it'd be really nice. Let's just hope it's a nice kit. If it's anything like the Stuka, it'll be the best Spitfire out there, in 1/35th scale. But of course, I think at the moment, probably the best Spitfire out there, Mark 1, is the Qatari kit. The 24 scale Airfix kit is gorgeous. And then of course you've got the Tamiya 1/32nd scale Mark 9, which is absolutely gorgeous, possibly one of, it's one of the best model kits ever made, isn't it? We all know that. So be very interesting to see that come along. I've seen some, you always get this, as soon as somebody rents a kit, there's all this, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be that. And people are saying it's been modelled on the Hobby Boss kit. Well, if they have, then it's going to have a very fat canopy and everything. I don't think they will have done that. I don't think Border Model would have got, I mean, because as far as we know, Border Models don't have an issue with accuracy, do they? So, don't know. Right, so the Scammell, a few of you have been asking about the Scammell. I'm going to get that back on the bench probably tomorrow, because I do want to get that one done and dusted, because it's only the cab I've got to do, really. Get the cab done, paint the trailer, we're away. And I've been waiting for the photo etch to come from Edward, which has now come from Hannants, and that's all good. So I think I'll get that back on the bench tomorrow and perhaps put a video out on that one. The Hellcat is back in its box over there. I'm going to get that out probably once a week and have a little play with that, maybe once every 2 weeks. Once we get those wings together, that's it. It's pretty much on the engine. It's pretty much done. So that we're good on that one. The Chieftain is sat down here behind me in its box. All the Berlin camo is done, as you know. I could make a video about painting the wheels and everything, but would you really want to see that? Maybe somebody would like to see how to mask them and everything. But I'll probably get something out on that. I've got to do the gun barrel as well. But as you know, a company from Poland got in touch with me, or a guy from Poland got in touch with me and said he's going to send me some tracks. They're 3D printed tracks. They've had some issues with the design and they've had to make some changes about what they were going to do and everything, but they've got it finalized. I've seen photographs and they look absolutely lovely. He told me they'd been posted to me Monday 2 weeks ago. That's 2 weeks ago today. So today is the 14th, so that would have been like the 1st of August or the last day of July, or whatever that Monday was. So you kind of think that's a bit worrying. But I have also ordered, I don't know what's going on with the Postal Service, I ordered some gun barrels for another model from a company in Poland via eBay. And as soon as I made the order, they came back to me and they said, if you want a refund, you can have a refund. eBay have told you you will receive these parts by August the 8th or something, and there's no way. Even with, you know, if we use a courier, we lose money. Even with the best postal service we have, you will not get them for at least 2 or 3 weeks. So there's obviously some issues getting stuff out of Poland through the postal service. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with Ukraine, I don't know. But it seems that unless you use a courier these days, everything's taking forever. I know that Sven over at One Man Army, he sends me stuff from Belgium next day. You've got Peter over at Art Scale Kit, he sends me stuff, it's generally 2 days, but they're using couriers, they use DPD and FedEx. Using the mail service, it seems to be going very, very slow, so we shall see. So that's it with the Scammell and the Chieftain. If the tracks take much longer, I'm tempted to just finish the kit with the kit tracks. But you know what'll happen, as soon as I paint them, the 3D printed ones will turn up, and they do look very, very nice, I must be honest. If you remember the other day, I talked about wanting that special photo etch set for the Akagi, the Hasegawa 1/350th scale. A gentleman called Dave has been in touch, and he's actually giving me those photo etch sets. Yes, he's giving them to me. He's got the photo etch set in the box, he's got the Hasegawa ABC, and he's got the wooden deck set, and he is sending me to them. He is sending them for nothing. Now I'm going to give him some money. I'm not taking them for nothing. That's just not right. But unbelievable. He had these sets hanging around for years. He's basically said to me, I'm never going to get around to using them. You may as well have them, because I know you'll do them good. And believe me, when I see that set, I'm going to be absolutely made up. I've been wanting that set since probably 2012, maybe even before that. That's when I got my kit, I think. And yeah, I've been wanting it. I've been holding off on doing that kit, waiting for that set to do all the structure underneath the bow and stern flight deck. So yeah, and now I've got a wooden deck to go on it as well. I've already got the photo etch. I thought I had A, B and C, but I've only got B and C. I thought I had A, B and C, but I've only got B and C. But I've also got the Edwards set as well, so we could really go to town with photo etch on that one. Pontos, I did that massive long boring review that probably all fell asleep with. I did that review on the Enterprise, the 200 scale Pontos set. Turns out there was another part missing as well. I want to show you in there where those rangefinder sort of arms that stick out the side were missing. There should have been 2 of them, there was only 1. And the actual box that it sits in, the actual sort of the armor plating that it sits in, there was only 1 of them as well, and there should be 2. So I've emailed Pontos, and I've also asked them if I can buy some additional bits and pieces so I can detail out more of the planes. I hope you enjoyed those reviews. The KA set and the Pontos set, it's almost like I say, it's almost like they've worked together, and one guy has given you something and the other guy has given you the other. So if you really want to go to town, you need both. And it turns into a bloody expensive project. That's the trouble. But yeah, it's like Pontos gives you absolutely nothing to detail the ship's boats, but the KA set has all the boat racks. It has all the photo etch for the boats. It even has the boats. And here's one of the boats here. And if you remember when I did my review, I had one with lots and lots of problems on it. Turns out they all got problems. Some of them got bubbles in them, air bubbles. Some of them got broken, damaged bits and everything. So I've taken the best one, removed the plug from the back there, and then I've cast my own. And I've cast them like that rather than like that, so it's easier to come out of the mould. So it seems to be working very, very well. And got them here, and they're lovely. So there's one of them there. I've made a few of them. So because I've got Yorktown and I've got Enterprise. So I want to sort of basically be able to detail them both up. I haven't even looked in the kits yet to see what's wrong with the kits boats. I don't know why KA give you those, but we shall see. But there's 3 different sizes. There's 50 foot, 40 foot, and is it 30 foot or 25 foot? But I've got a feeling they could well be the same boats as on the Arizona, so I could use them on there as well. So yeah, very disappointed in the quality of those resin parts. They're not very nice at all, especially the 50 foot ones. They're damaged, air bubbles, flaws in them. It looks like the molds are absolutely knackered. But anyway, and as I say, the missing parts in the Pontos set, I've emailed them, and hopefully I'll get a reply back from them as soon as they go back to work. So that's basically that. I've also gone through the Pontos set and checked everything, and the KA set. And what I would advise to anyone, I should have got some parts out to show you. Get all the parts out, get your brass parts out, get all your resin parts out. match them up with what you've got in the instructions. Now the KA set has no real parts list, it's all, they're all sort of split up individually, but the Pontos set, page 1, is all the everything that's in there, all the resin, all the photo etch, all the decking, everything. You can check your set, make sure it's all there, make sure nothing's missing, because if you stick it away in your stash and you go to get it out in a couple of years, if Pontos have stopped making that set, you're knackered. So what I've done is I put them all in bags and I number them. So I put a piece of 10mm masking tape on the front and put TB1, turn brass 1 to TB9. Okay, so that's all those brass barrels or whatever they may be in that bag, and you've got them all there. Go through, count them. If you miscount, or if you count them ain't got enough, count them again just in case. As I say, I have never had a missing part in a Pontos set. The only thing I've ever had in a Pontos set was in HMS Hood. You've got the resin molded blast bags, and one of them had a very, very bad mismold on it. So I've actually made a mold and made my own rather than mess around. Sorry, not Bismarck, not Hood, it was Bismarck. So I've made my own blast bags from their part. So that's what I've done. And that's it. But this one had 2 missing resin parts. All the brass parts are there, everything else is there. But just the 2 missing resin parts. So there we go. So there we are. So yeah, absolutely made up. The border model contacted me out of the blue. They contacted me and just sort of, you know, just really, really nice, really, because I've been emailing them and not getting any reply. They're very, very strange. I must admit, of all the Chinese companies I deal with, the most communicative, it was a big word, wasn't it, is Hong Kong Models. Neil over at Hong Kong Models, and he knows that I have been telling people about the accuracy issues and that, and he strives to get better and better and better. And if you think about it, he kind of knows that, you know, if I'm here saying, I don't like this kit, I don't like this kit, I don't like this kit, if all of a sudden I say, this kit is awesome, everyone's thinking, hang on a minute, this bloke's always honest, he's always, you know, if he's knocking them, and now he's not knocking them, it must be bloody good. And that A20, which I want to start, it's there, I want to start it. There's too much other stuff in the way. It is bloody gorgeous. The only thing that I think's come up is it looks like the instrument panel in the kit is too far forward. It needs to be brought back. So that's something we'll look at when I build it, and I'll show you how it looks out of the box, and then we'll do some modifications and see how it looks modified. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon. Stay tuned for if it's part 6 that went out today, part 7 will be out very soon. Yeah, it's lovely. If you like Sea Kings, you'll love this thing. It's absolutely awesome. I think it's probably Airfix's best kit ever. The Spitfire is the 24 scale Spitfire is a very, very close second. The only thing that lets the Spitfire down is the fit of the engine covers if you decide to try and display the engine and have removable covers and stuff, which we managed, as you know. But this thing is it's just out of this world. I would say the main fuselage and everything and all the interior and that is Tamiya levels. It really is. It's very, very good. The fit is astounding. It is astounding. Really, really impressed with it. So, and no, I'm not an Airfix fanboy. I never ever will be. I'll never be an anything fanboy. I will always tell you how it is, as you know. So thank you for watching again, and I'll see you soon for another video. And thanks for all your support, guys. It's been wonderful. And hopefully there'll be a Dan Buster Lancaster on the bench. It's also, talking to them yesterday, Saturday, has got my interest back into my Lancaster. So I think we'll get that back on the bench as well and get stuck into that one, which will make a lot of you happy. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching again. Bye for now. Bye.